The Crutch is back at Order Arch.
An arch?
Wedding Arch.
This is my favorite. Wait. This one. That's it. No. Hold on. This is my favorite. Okay, let me tell you what. This one, this is my favorite. Wait. This one. That's it. No. Hold on. This.
Tyka Sumter and Nicholas James's stunning marriage has captured hearts worldwide. Their love story is built on friendship, commitment, and mutual respect. The talented actress and actor began as friends, deepening their bond into a beautiful relationship. They often share heartfelt messages and moments on social media, showcasing their support and shared vision for the future. Their romantic wedding was a celebration of love, unity, and commitment, attended by family and friends in a breathtaking setting. Now, as proud parents to their daughter, Ella Lauren, Tyka, and Nicholas focus on creating a loving, nurturing home, emphasizing family and togetherness. Tyka Sumter.
Baby, I said it. But you skipped the part. No, I just skipped. You skipped the part. Can you see that? How conveniently me skipping that part? I told you we're in a relationship. You don't skip the part where he's blowing your back out. He's spinning right over your head because your kids fruit snacks. And then talking about relationship. What I'm saying is, you got actions.
It's a lot of new development going on out here, too. new shit. There ain't no white folks way up here like this. Ain't no white folks was up here. Hit the Gainesville now. Still leg up?
Still leg up. I need to get pillows and prop it.
Take your shot of it. It's right there in the
And
bathroom.
prop it up. Yeah,
Right there in the
it's.
bathroom.
I can't right now. I'm just in the bed, babe. I just got my leg up. I got to get more pillows to prop it up. Setting me up a teledoc appointment with my podiatrist to see if she could tell me, you know, from letting her know what I went through yesterday and stuff like that. Her assistant said it sounds like just like walking on ice. It's a lot of strain to the foot and the legs. And then I told her about me stepping, doing a new workout regimen that, you know, we got a stepper now, we're doing step up. She said all of that could be, you know, playing into just the strain. The foot is just straining. And it's something that probably I just gotta like walk it out. No medicine, nothing like that, just walk it out. Just
Big
gotta,
old gulp of vinegar.
yeah, just like it probably just gotta go away on its own. She said it's gonna go away. It's just going to take some time to do that. But for me not being on it today was a good thing. But she said she'll have the doc, we'll do a teledoc visit. So that's, you know, good for me. I'm fine with that. But I gave them all.
Did you think it might be calcium? Did you bring calcium up? Nope.
I did not bring calcium up. I told her what they wanted to know, what I went through. So let them determine if it's a calcium bill or from what I tell them.
The more you give
And
them,
it's just
I got calcium in my water.
I told them I'm drinking a gallon of water a day.
Did you tell them that I have calcium in my water?
I have calcium in my water. I don't see calcium in
You
my
can't
it's calcium.
see
in my-
calcium.
Okay, well babe, they are the doctors.
But you need to tell them that.
Oh, so we have calcium in our water?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's the law. They have calcium
Do
in water.
everybody else have calcium in their water?
I can't speak for everybody because a lot of people use well water. But the Loganville has calcium and fluoride.
Okay.
They need to know.
Or when she
this.
call, okay. I'll let Dr. Smith, her name is Dr. Nicole Smith, my doctor's name, and she's the podiatrist at Emory that I go to, who diagnosed me with the plantar fasciitis a couple of years back. So I just talked to her assistant and let her know what I was going through, you know, with stepping up, exercise that we do since Sunday, the walking on the ice yesterday, stranded, all that. I just let her know what I'm going through and how stepping down is the worst pain for me right now. I have a lot of heel pain right now. I can walk on my toes. I can walk on the front part of my foot. But if I was to just stand straight up, oh my God, that pain right there is on my heels and just my left side. That's it. So yeah, the assistant said it definitely sounded like it was part of walking on ice. She said we are not accustomed to walking on ice.
Who's not accustomed to walking on ice?
Human beings.
So that's what they tell the people in Alaska that walk on ice all the time?
Well, those people in Alaska is probably used to it. We are not here in Georgia used to walking on ice.
No, we was only walking on ice for
A couple of miles.
That wasn't no couple of miles.
Yes, we were.
That was
For
not
me to
miles.
get
That wasn't.
for me to get to you,
Right.
that was more than a
No,
mile.
it wasn't.
What was it?
It was 3/4 of a mile.
What?
Yeah, 0.7.
Okay. All right. Okay. I told her a couple of miles. Okay? Because that's the, I know you're not talking. That's the most dramatic man I know. I know you're not talking.
1,000 miles.
I did a couple of miles, and then we had to walk on that shit to get my car.
Good, black people.
And then we walked on straight ice just to get my car. After you parked your car down there and then had us walk on that sheet of ice. Obviously, it affected my foot, okay? No matter what you say, it affected my foot.
People that definitely sue somebody. I
Who?
walked 1,000 miles in your house and I hurt my foot.
No, I know this has to be from the walk. I'm not trying to hear the shit. So I'm just going to put my foot up. I'm waiting for my telemedicine visit. I'm setting up my laptop, and I'm gonna talk to her through there. And that's how we gonna do that.
That's
She
how
could
we
put
gonna
medicine.
roll. I'm with you,
That's how we rolling. And she gonna put her medicine. She probably gonna want me to have.
Hey there, you won't believe what we've got in store for you today. Introduce
of the pandemic, of course. Now Alexandria Hoff has the story. Hey, Alexandria.
Hey, Will, good to be with you. Yeah, this new stance isn't the product of a new administration. The assessment was ordered and completed under President Biden. The difference here is that newly confirmed CIA Director John Ratcliffe made it a point and made the decision to release the findings. Here was what he had to say.
I think it was important for the American people to see an institution like the CIA get off the sidelines and be truthful about what our intelligence shows.
So according to the agency, the CIA, quote, assesses with low confidence that a pandemic is more likely than a neutral origin based on the available body of reporting. That's from the CIA there. So for years, the agency said it didn't have enough evidence to make a determination on where the pandemic was rooted. During that time, those who floated the Wuhan lab leak theory were cast off by the mainstream as conspiracy theorists. Senator Tom Cotton earned early pushback for that. He reacted to the CIA's update on Fox News Sunday.
I didn't have access to classified intelligence or special scientific knowledge. I just used a little common sense and looked at the facts and understood what Chinese communists do.
Dr. Anthony Fauci denied accusations that he worked to sway Americans into believing, as he did, that the virus came from an animal, assuring in testimony last year that the Wuhan lab theory itself wasn't
Not take the stand to give any more testimony, or he'll be pushing the limits of that pardon extended to him by Joe Biden. Thank you, Alexandria.
Sure.
Okay, I hate to say I told you so. Well, not really. You want me to just lay it out? Eagles, Chiefs. That's my prediction.
You know,
Sorry,
I'm here all the time, and you never cease to disappoint me with your picks when it comes to football games. You are the definition of chalk.
No, not chalk, right, Carton. And then we have a relationship that seems to be repeating this cycle. You make fun of my picks end up being right. So I predicted Super Bowl 59. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a spot for a fourth down play for the Buffalo Bills. It looked to the naked eye like Josh Allen got the first down. The ref spotted it behind the line, right? And it was a big turning point in the game. Whether or not that was right or wrong, I think this is a very legitimate point, Bear. And it's made by Mike Gunzelman. And he said, it's wild to me that tennis has the kind of technology to rule a ball in or out, but the NFL every single week continues to allow refs to ruin calls and sometimes even games. You mean to tell me that the NFL can't figure out a way to do this, or putting a chip in the ball? I mean, those tennis shots, Bear, to his point, are flying, right? And the line of scrimmage on just spotting a ball is constant. It's fixed. I mean, it moves down the field, but it's fixed. If you had a chip in the ball and you could do this, there'd be no reason for controversy.
Well, it's interesting because Sam Schwartzstein, who used to play, who's actually on Andrew Luck's offensive line at Stanford, and a former colleague of mine when I was working at another place, he laid out a really good thread on Twitter about why this isn't as easy and as possible as people think. He actually is involved in like the competition committee and the rules committee. I think it was with the XFL, and kind of creating different ways to kind of go about rules and do the, and he kind of lays it out as to the ball isn't a perfect circle. That's something that baseball and tennis have going for it, that when you move a football around, it's not always as easy to figure out a line. So while in theory it sounds great, Sam kind of makes an argument as you say, yeah, what my biggest issue was with that was I didn't hear a call on the field made right away. Like, they went to break, and I was like, well, did they, whatever they ruled on the field was how it was going to be, like, they weren't going to be able to overturn that on replay. And that was my biggest concern, was like, okay, did they rule it a first down? Did they rule them short? And then they came back, and finally you saw ruling on the field on relatively short of first down. But yeah, it certainly, it reminded me a lot of that Ohio State-Michigan game. I guess it was in 2016 with J.T. Barrett, and the way he was kind of backing up into the first down line, and the ball was kind of behind him, and you really didn't get a good look. Whatever they ruled on the field was ultimately how it was going to be ruled, in bad luck for Buffalo. They did have chances after that to win the game and couldn't get it done, unfortunately, for them.
Let me say this to Philadelphia. I didn't ignore you. I know I focused on Kansas City, but I didn't ignore you. By the way, goodbye to Bear. Thank you, Bear. We lost him there. I'm going to say goodbye to Bear. But let everybody in Philadelphia know, I'm not ignoring you. It's not because I'm a Cowboys fan. I think Kansas City was the talker today. I think Saquon Barkley is awesome. And we're going to talk about whether you have a shot in the Super Bowl. But now, let's go to what you, the viewers, think. It's time for Will of the People. One person commenting, congrats, well deserved. I love your show. I was hopeful before that you and Pete would get a 2-hour slot named Off the Wall. Might have been possible. Now it's set death. Another user saying, just keep doing what you're doing, Will. Just be sure and not call Jesse Waters Jessica anymore. And work on that. Instead, I called the Rio Grande the Red River today. And finally, I like how your show...
treat for you. At any moment, President Trump about to give a speech to House Republicans in Doral, Florida. This is as they try to unify behind his very ambitious second-term agenda. And it's an agenda that's already causing shockwaves across the globe. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro quickly caving on his refusal to accept deportation flights from the United States after President Donald Trump threatened to slap a 25% tariff and other punitive measures. But Democrats are not fans of the Trump for tat. AOC is warning on X, quote, to punish Colombia, Trump is about to make every American pay even more for coffee. Remember, we pay the tariffs, not Colombia. And then The View's Anna Navarro, well, she added her 2 cents with this, saying, most of the flowers imported into the U.S. come from Colombia. Happy Valentine's Day, America. So the media is also freaking out over Trump's tariff tango.
We're going to see this with a lot more countries, the use of tariffs as a, quote, opening bid in negotiation.
You can solve that easily with a phone call. You don't have to go up on Twitter and threaten, 25% tariffs or 50% tariffs or whatever it is. Everything he's doing is creating chaos, and it's making the United States weaker in the world without making us safer.
This type of action is not going to help them with countries like Cuba or Venezuela.
This isn't making us safer, but it is feeding red meat to Donald Trump's base.
Greg, watching this yesterday unfold, the news was over before it really even began. He caved so quickly that the headlines couldn't catch up.
It was beautiful. This reminds me of every criminal on Cops. Once the police officer breaks out the taser, the cocky bravado of the shirtless drunk suddenly turns to, I'm cooperating. It works because no one can call Trump's bluff because there are no bluffs given. To paraphrase on that word. I said this on social media that Hollywood has made a slew of TV shows and movies about presidents. And the presidents are always these touchy-feely things. That's the limit to their imagination. They never imagine this, that in fact, reality has trumped their fiction quite literally. He's shown you that you don't have to accept no or failure as an option. I think for the last 10 years, we have been living under the idea that we just accept the fact that we're in decline, that we can't do anything about it, that no one takes us seriously. And then you have this guy walk in and kick the squatters out. It's a bigger story because he said in his campaign speeches, it doesn't have to be this way. And that is what this is about. It doesn't have to be this way. The threat of cancel culture is gone. There is no more retribution. Now you can return to doing the right thing without the fear of the smear. And of course, you're going to get this thing where, and the Democrats do this all the time. It's the usual trick. They focus on the rare exception. Like, we can't have trans women in women's sports. Oh, but they will kill themselves. No. We need to deport illegals. No, but they're going to go to our grade schools. No. We're going to have the death penalty. But one could be innocent. As adults, we see the right thing to do, and we do not look at these extreme cases as reasons not to do them. That is a child's logic. As for AOC and Ana Navarro, they seem to care more about coffee and flowers than women getting raped. They are where is the pro-women? Ana Navarro thinks she's going to get flowers for Valentine's Day. I think not. But the fact that they are arresting rapists and they are worried. I think women would pay 10 cents more for their coffee if they didn't have to worry about getting raped on the subway, you bozos.
Judge, Joe Biden really sort of just went along with things, right? So what Greg was saying, and we just had to accept that the China spy balloon was okay. We'll just wait till it crashes into the ocean. Or it was acceptable that Europe was going to put all these demands on our energy companies or on our regulations on us, and we're just going to accept it. Trump threatened the tariffs on Colombia that would wreck the Colombian economy, and we had a fix in 10 minutes.
Yeah, look, America has had the power all along to fix things. And just like that, Donald Trump shows up and proves that we had that power all along. But Biden wouldn't use it because America was not first in Biden's mind. Biden was a globalist. He wanted everything to satisfy his globalist friends, and he rejected America first. Because you have to ask yourself, why did he let illegals into this country? Why did he not vet them? You know, why did he allow them to be exempted from America's civil and criminal laws in sanctuary cities and the civil laws by coming in illegally? He wasn't for America first. He was for America last. All right. And I got to tell you, you know, the reports are that you say within 10 minutes. My understanding is that President Trump was on the golf course and he was between the 8th and the 9th hole. I mean, this is a guy who knows exactly what he's doing, knows exactly how to fix things. And everybody's like, oh, the tariffs are going to be so terrible. No, it's the leverage that the threat of tariffs brings. And by the way, don't be so worried about Colombian coffee. Brazil is the #1 importer of coffee in the United States. And, you know, and this president from Colombia, what an idiot. Yeah. His citizens need to be treated with dignity, and they cannot be flown in on a C-130 or whatever that military plane was. Are you kidding me? You want them on a private, commercial, charter flight? What do you want? They're criminals. They're yours. What does it say about you and your country that you don't want your own people? And what does it say about you, Colombia, that Americans, if we want to come to your country, we have to have a passport. We have to have a visa. But all this is just Looney Tunes. And Donald Trump is about standing up and making us safe. And, you know, AOC, she could care less about money, because if she did, she would have let Amazon build in New York, in her district. Remember the 25,000 jobs and all that money? She's not into the money. These people are haters. Anything Donald Trump wants to do, oh, it's chaos. No, it isn't. We're getting rid of chaos in America.
And how does that feel, Jessica? Getting rid of chaos? Does it feel good?
I've never felt this good. Totally revived.
But he did show that there's a way to use deterrence is in a peace through strength sort of way, using economic and diplomatic means.
Sure, but I'm not exactly sure what he was accomplishing that's any different from what had already gone on. So according to the ICE statistics, 28,635 Colombians have left our country between 2021 and 2024. I don't see any reason besides a show of force that he wanted to switch to a military plane versus the charters they were already going in, and it's about 3 times more expensive. I think it can be up to $852,000 for a 12-hour flight, which is what it should be about to get it back there. Also concerned about the signal that this sends to the world vis-a-vis our allies. So no one would dispute that Colombia has been a great ally to America. And when South American countries look around, and we should keep in mind, of course, that China is their #2 biggest trading partner. So are we pushing these countries into the arms of our enemies? If they look at how we're treating Panama, Colombia, Mexico, are they going to turn around and say, hey, I'd like to be aligned with you? I see Jesse and Janine are writing. They obviously have something to say.
I would like to write, but I am not picking up my pen.
No.
I'm drawing.
Because that is really beautiful. Those are like in the doodle books. Anyway, so what I think Trump wants to create with this is a fiction about what was going on under the Biden administration. Like, they never deported anybody. I woke up one day and I'm the first person to send a Colombian back. Now, I understand President Petro misplayed the hand on it, saying that they have to be returned with dignity. And he did offer his own plane. He said, I'll send the presidential plane to get them. And then online, there were all sorts of rumors. These people were shackled, etc. I have no idea the type of conditions within that military plane. But I do know that it's more expensive. I do know that we got out nearly 29,000 Colombians. And I do know that we are saying to our allies that we're going to start needless fights with you. There's nothing that we wanted from them any different than for them to continue accepting planes, which they had been under the Biden administration.
We want them to stop sending criminals, Jessica.
Exactly.
That's one thing. Listen to who was on the plane. These are the people that you want
I don't
gin
want
and
any of
tonics
the-
for in
No.
first class, maybe a hot towel. Okay, because this guy, Andres Parra, arrested in San Francisco, convicted of sexual penetration with a foreign object on an unaware victim. Or this guy, he was convicted of extortion, kidnapping, trafficking, manufacturing, and possession of narcotics. Or this guy on the jet, who you want special treatment for.
I don't. I want him to go on the normal plane.
Convicted murderer.
I don't give a damn.
This
what
guy was
plane
a
they go
convicted
out.
murderer
I know
in
that you
Colombia,
don't.
Jessica.
They don't
He comes to
deserve
this country
anything.
I don't want
illegally.
these people
We're sending
here.
him back, and you want him treated like a VIP?
No, he's...
That's never going to happen, okay? We're not pushing anyone into China's arms.
Okay.
There's a little thing called the Monroe Doctrine. That'll never happen.
Right.
Also, Biden's favorite word, don't. Did that work? No. Trump's favorite word, tariff. It's already working between holes on the golf course.
I thought it was returned to office.
This coffee business, they're like the 29th largest trading partner, the Colombians. All right, so it's a little more expensive Colombian coffee.
I thought you were
I
broke
think
down
I'm
the
going to go
cost.
with French roast today. Maybe some African beans.
Yep.
Maybe some nice Guatemalan beans.
What about
Jessica.
mushroom coffee?
We have options as consumers in this country. So if the price of Colombian coffee goes up, we can choose another coffee.
So that's a good campaign
Do
slogan.
they have another choice?
Use
No.
a French press.
They don't have another choice, Jessica. We're like sending them commercial airliners. We're sending them airplane parts. Imagine a 25% tariff on a commercial airliner. And they already have deals with the military down there that they can't get out of. That would destroy their economy.
Why don't we use catapults? Has anybody brought up the creativity of a good modern
You
catapult?
should ask Elon.
Yes, you put a parachute on the illegal, and you put them in the catapult.
Or airdrop them so you don't have to land the plane.
Exactly.
Does anyone know how gross this sounds?
No,
called a
you know
joke.
what? They are the
This
worst
is why you
of
lost.
the worst. They are the worst of the worst. They are criminals, pedophiles, murder. Representation
them.
orders. Well, you know what? They don't deserve any kind of first-class
Let's
representation or
squeeze in a
anything
break
else.
before President Trump starts. He is about set to take the stage any moment in Florida. Up next, where to start going first as President Trump cranks up the deportation machine in sanctuary cities